I realise a lot of these current vlogs are in my car. The reason being is that my house is currently literally a building site. I'm going to just show you what's in my front garden. A massive hippo bag full of waste. You can't see it, there's a bath. Well, maybe you can see it. There's a bath over there. And inside the house, I've got dust sheeting going all up the stairs. My bathroom has been gutted. This was all work, supposedly, for when Liz was going to come home. So I'm done for work for the day. I've had quite a stressful morning trying to deal with a particularly impossible issue, really. But I'm doing my best. I honestly don't think I'm doing a very good job at work, I have to say, because my mind is not with it and hasn't been for a while. But I've got to try and pay the bills somehow, so I'm doing my best. But I fully appreciate it's probably not good enough, and I've told people this. Anyway, I'm popping out to go and get some supplies for the house. I've got like the contents of my new bathroom currently in my lounge. I've got a terrified cat under the stairs, another cat sniffing everything. Yeah, it's all a bit chaotic, to be honest with you. And the noise, geez, they're just like, it's so noisy. I think this is the last day of them ripping stuff out. And then tomorrow I think there's a plasterer coming, and it's kind of, we're going to start putting stuff back in, which will be nice. So yeah, hopefully things will start to improve very soon. I just got to keep telling myself it's only for a couple of weeks, and then it's all done and I can have the house back to myself again. It is Wednesday, the 13th of February, and I am in one of the relatives' rooms outside Critical Care A. It's kind of typical, really. Liz got moved here last night, which is fine, except that she doesn't have a TV on this bed, and I paid for 7 weeks' worth of TV in her bed yesterday. And this is exactly the same thing that happened the last time she was in hospital. She got moved the very night that I paid for the TV, so it's slightly annoying. I'm starting to wonder if it's me. Anyway, yeah, we had a very long chat with the consultants yesterday, and the news is not very good. But I'm not ready to talk about it just yet. I just thought, as I had a quiet moment, I'd do a little post here. Still don't know how often I'm going to upload. Might be weekly, probably not daily. It's chaos at home. The lounge is full of the new bathroom stuff. The front garden is full of the old bathroom stuff. The bathroom has been totally gutted. They've plastered the ceiling this morning. All the walls have come down and they're going back up, and they're going to be doing the floor. It's going to be great when it's done. Just got to get through the next couple of weeks. And I'm still trying to do work and stuff until 2 every day with a particularly tricky task that I'm sure I'm not doing a very good job at, but you know, there you go. Want to say hello? Do you want to wave? Smile. That's Elizabeth.
You're a wimp. And this is Ralph.
That's Ralph, who's not being a wimp. Ralph's been here all the time with Liz. And over there we have, I can't remember how to zoom in on this thing now. We've got monkey, frog, cat, tiger and plant.
What do you want now? You want to go up again?
Say hello again, Alice.
Hello.
That's Alice with the mask. I'm going to zoom in on you. Fucking zoom in on you. I don't
Zoom
know.
in on my eyeball.
Oh no, that's brightness. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, push joystick to control zoom. No. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know how this works. Evening. It is evening. It's Wednesday the 13th. I've had a bit of a dodgy couple of days, if I'm honest with you. So, yesterday I went and asked the lady consultant, a lady by the name of Irena something or other, can't remember her name, I'm terrible with names and faces, and I basically said, look, can you just clarify, does Liz have this myotonic, what's her name thingy, dystrophy or not? And she basically said, it hasn't been confirmed, but she's pretty certain that's what it is because that's what she did her thesis on. And the neurologist is also pretty certain that's what it is. And then basically she said, you know, this is a life-limiting issue. And I asked, what does that mean, life-limiting? Does that mean in terms of like mobility or in terms of, you know, life expectancy? And basically said, she said, well, you know, both really. She said, it usually kicks in for women after the menopause. Liz went through the menopause a couple of years ago. It's passed through the female side of the family. So Liz's mum may be a carrier, but she's not affected. She thinks I need to get the kids screened. She's taken a brief look at Anthony just from afar, and she thinks that he's got a problem because, you know, the way he stands, his posture and the strength in his hands, etc. So basically, both the kids need to get tested. They can't give me a timescale as to when they're going to know for sure. And she also says, but the screening, the genetic screening is very expensive. And she reckons I should get talk to a charity about covering the cost of this. But I want to wait until I know the diagnosis for a fact before I, you know, set any hairs running and try and get anyone else sort of screened. She basically said, you know, what we've been told before, Liz may never be able to come home. Liz might need a permanent tracheostomy, in which case, you know, she wouldn't be able to go into a residential home because they won't take people like that. And she said, I can forget about having ventilation at home because of the cost. She was, you know, knowledgeable but blunt, I would say, and there wasn't really anything good coming out of the conversation, you know. So Alice was in floods of tears when I told her because, you know, at some point she wants children and she's a female. She could be a carrier. This might affect, you know, any children she has. You know, she's convinced now that at 50 she's going to drop dead because of this problem. I mean, basically, if they've got this, so there's a chance Liz hasn't got it, right? Although all the symptoms would appear to match, and there's a chance Alice hasn't got it. But basically, what this woman was telling me was that, you know, she's basically said my whole family is basically got limited life expectancy, which is not really what you want to be hearing, you know. So, you know, she also said once you reach the stage of, you know, where Liz is, where you're having problems with your breathing, it's basically like ticking clock, ticking clock, because, you know, she basically said Liz can expect to get infection after infection. And here's the kicker, right? She basically said to me, well, not basically, she said to me, if Liz had had a positive diagnosis of this before she went into hospital this time, they wouldn't have intubated her. In other words, she wouldn't be here. I find that an astonishing thing to say. So basically, you know, someone goes into hospital needing help and you look them up and you go, no, we're not going to intubate this one. I mean, that doesn't sound right. So yesterday I was feeling very, very, very low indeed. And, you know, for a long time, all this bad news has just been kind of washing over me. I feel a little bit dead inside, to be honest. I can't cry about any of this stuff. I can't. I get angry. I can't necessarily get upset. It just kind of washes over me. It's just this endless stream of shit, you know? Anyway, so today I kind of went in with a bit of a renewed purpose. And I asked, so Liz got moved to critical ward A. And I asked today's consultant, who's a different guy, I said, you know, what's this thing about not intubating somebody if they've got a positive diagnosis for this thing. I said, you know, if someone comes into a hospital needing intubation, we don't all go off and do a Captain Picard and sit in the meeting room talking about it for half an hour. You just do it. You stabilise the patient and you move on. And he basically said, yeah, if you need treatment, you'll have treatment. What of course we can't do is insist on a particular type. That's my cat knocking over the wood that's currently parked at the top of my stairs. What we can't do is insist on a certain type of treatment. Like, for example, I couldn't insist on if there was a heart problem, I couldn't insist on a heart transplant if the medical professionals said that's not the way to do things, or that's not good for the patient, right? I get that. Anyway, he did say he thought these comments yesterday probably weren't helpful and did apologise. Today, Liz sat in a chair for a few hours. She was complaining, but she's always complaining. She did very well. She was also had a trachea mask put on and seemed to cope very well with that. She seems to have quite a strong cough. My concern is that, you know, she's shown all the good symptoms before that have led them to taking out the tube and doing certain things, but she doesn't respond in the same way as anybody else. And my concern is that if we take the tracheostomy tube out, we then have no remote way of getting to her secretions. And if she gets an infection and can't cough it up, we're back to square one. And that's my worry. So, you know, today I'm feeling a little bit more hopeful, but I have these days of, you know, abject despair. And then today I'm a little bit more hopeful. So I've come home tonight. I've cleaned as much of the house as I can, given that we've got building materials in every space imaginable. I've got a wound down here that's bleeding again. I've managed to clean that out. I've had a proper shower in the new shower downstairs and I've cleaned that out and put a patch over it. Today's been pretty good, but obviously I've still got this thing hanging over me where essentially my family have been given a death sentence. And I have to say, if this turns out not to be true, first of all, yay, good. But secondly, I'm going to be making a complaint that we were kind of sent down this whole rabbit hole, you know. What this lady said to me yesterday just kind of beggars belief, really. It's upset everybody imaginable. And I'm kind of feeling a little bit defiant today, you know, but I have different days. And I've come home tonight, cleaned the house, finished off a bit of work that I was doing because I had a meeting early today, then I had to go to the hospital. So, you know, I'm feeling okay at the moment, but who knows what tomorrow is going to bring, you know? We have good days, we have bad days, but of course we now got this thing hanging over us where I'm being told that my entire family might have limited life expectancy and, you know, prepare for the worst, basically. And what do you do with that kind of information, you know?